It is the season of Alfonso Mangoes and also the season of IPL. Now, there's a great story of the King of Fruits connecting the two Super Kings, MS Dhoni and Matthew Hayden. I have one of them with me to talk about what is making season 16 special. Thank you very much, heroes, for joining us on the broadcast. You've been in the middle of IPL. You've been in the middle for some time and now in the commentary box. How is the buzz and excitement like this season? How would you rate the matches this season and also the excitement around IPL?
Rika, it's so lovely to see you again. And yes, it's been an incredible start to IPL. I don't know if I've seen any games or seasons that have started so emphatically. 200 being chased down, big 200 plus scores that have been set. And then it's had a couple of really good little tight ones as well. The 150s, 160s. So there's been plenty on offer. It's been a real buffet of different performances, but superb so far.
It is superb indeed, headers. Chennai is third on the league table, one of the better starts to their seasons of late. Do you see them go to the knockouts this time around?
Well, this competition will tell you that you always count CSK never out of the battle.
That's true.
They've always been able to produce under MS Dhoni superb results. 4 titles already. So many playoffs that you can barely mention them in the competition. So, I think they've got a very solid side. I think Ruturaj Gaikwad, being in the wings and the waiting as a good young leader, coupled up with Devon Conway, excellent. So, generally just their home record as well, 73% of their matches are won at home. So now that the competition is back to playing at home venues, that's a key factor because Chapak Stadium is a fortress.
Now, headers, there's a big question around your friend MS Dhoni. He's been nursing an injury. Are you sending him Alfonso Mangoes? Because I know there's been a story in one of the years when he was sending Alfonso Mangoes to you when you had run out of motivation.
Yeah, that was a bit of a low cost trade. Runs for mangoes seemed pretty simple, didn't it? Look, he's in great touch himself. Last year we thought, gee, is he going to play again? And he's come out this season with a huge strike rate, well over 200s, and is making impact once again, like we've seen a number of players in the IPL, like Dinesh Karthik and the finishers, Tawatias and so forth, coming in and having those little cameo innings, which is superb, and he's doing a great job of that.
Headers, now you've mentioned about MS Dhoni's strike rate. There's been a lot of talk around the strike rate this season. You have spoken about it while being a part of the commentary panel. Do you think that, it's a metric that most of the broadcasters and commentators are now looking at seriously?
It's a real conundrum as to how former players and commentators like myself try and work out what's the metric that really counts. Because Ishan Kishan, for example, could be criticised for not going on and getting a big score through the middle stages of the match. But inside the power play, his strike rate's about 175. And so he's doing his job. Because then when you look at the Mumbai Indians lineup, you've got Tilak Varma, for example, who's coming in and smashing the ball down the bottom. So I think the old metrics of half centuries, averages, aggregates aren't the be-all and the end-all.
Headers, now, while Warner and Kohli have been reeling out half centuries, if you look at the stats, they've been doing great in this IPL, but strike rates have not been great for them either.
Look, both David Warner and, if I can start on him first, he's had a struggle insofar he's had a lot of wickets that have been tumbling around him as well. That Delhi Capitals side has not been really together with the bat. Virat Kohli is an interesting scenario as well because, he is performing really nicely in this IPL. And so he's got a wingman in Faf du Plessis, pardon me, that is really, striking the ball beautifully. So, it's one of those partnership environments as well. When you look at RCB and the way that they've gone about their business in the top 6 and that opening partnership, which has been 80% of their runs, it's very hard to criticise that. But strike rate is still something that needs to be looked at.
Now let's talk about the new rule in IPL, the impact player. How effective do you think has the rule been this season?
It's really interesting, Rika, because at the toss you'll see two pieces of paper, and on that paper we'll have a bowling piece and a batting piece, and that's really how it's gone. So for sides deciding to chase down runs, of course being able to add a heavyweight with the bat can really make a big difference. It's very hard to really understand what the narration of this is going to be like long term. Is it going to be something which is going to come and go, or are they going to go into more of a squad mentality like American sports have played? The traditionalist in me always tends to go to the conservative side of playing 11 on 11. The discussions around different players in this IPL have always been, that there's been an advantage of having, an extra batter or bowler. Do you play a specialist at the toss, or do you have you more of your impact players that have come in, your all-rounders, for example,
right,
who naturally, are the highest price tags for the world for this tournament as well. So, lots to discuss. I suppose that's the benefit of it.
Mm-hmm.
But traditionally, I also like being able to consolidate and play 11 on 11.
Now, Headers, Venkatesh Iyer of KKR says that this rule has reduced the importance of the all-rounders. Do you concur with what he says?
I think it's a little too early to see. I mean, Krishnatha Gopinath, for example, was someone that came in and had impact. When he was given the opportunity. I guess it's really at the toss. Pardon me. Do you have your best 11, or are you picking? I mean, captains have even. You have a look at Rohit Sharma, for example, has been substituted out. We saw just in the last match as well. We saw Faf du Plessis, take on an injury and then remove himself as well from the field of play. So, and Virat Kohli actually captain. It definitely gives a broader spectrum of players. 12 on 11, it's a no-brainer as the talent that actually can exist within a squad, because you're playing, in essence, 12, not 11.
Heroes, let me ask you, has this impact player rule made it convenient for the captains to get them, substituted? Faf du Plessis did it, Rohit Sharma did it as well.
Rico, I honestly think that if you've got a rule in place, that every side will take advantage of it accordingly. So whether that's, a captain that sits out because he's got a small niggle like Faf du Plessis, or whether you've got an impact player that's maybe not in your 11, but you can see a benefit, in a certain stage. Or even if you're a Prithvi Shaw, for example, there's been quite a lot of criticism around Prithvi batting only as a young player, and also maybe some of the negative connotations around that for Prithvi as well, like not being able to get into the game. I think he came on last night's match in about the 12th over to field, which may have been, as coaches adjust to it and captains adjust to it, you'll see different utilisation of it. The fact that we're talking about it's probably a good thing for cricket.
It is indeed. But how would you explain the poor show of teams like Delhi Capitals and Sunrisers Hyderabad, though there are legends sitting in their support staff?
Rico, I don't know. I mean, you have to be inside a change room to really try and understand the dynamics. But you can speculate on the fact that in the IPL, if you do get a bit of a shaky start, the momentum shifts quickly towards an opposition side. And we've often seen that, haven't we, over the years with Mumbai Indians, who haven't arrived for the first almost month of the tournament, but then come home with a wet sail. So don't write anyone off. The table, I don't know if I've ever seen a table, after the first 20-odd matches that have been so tight. The gap between number 8 and number 1 is so small, right? And Delhi Capital got on the table last night with a good win. So Sunrisers Hyderabad is it's a real conundrum because, on paper, you look at their lineup and you think, wow, that's a great cricket team. It's got all the potential to win the IPL, but they still have to form a culture. They got new coaches at SRH, form the culture, play well together, get confidence away from home and at home. and then you never know what the outcomes will be. But it's too early, I think, at this stage to sort of start pointing fingers from an outsider looking in.
Hedos, now since we have got you in the middle of a T20 season, I'll have to play a rapid fire with you, and here goes my questions. Number one, best match of the season so far?
CSK missing out, but Dhoni, taking him to the wire, 5 runs, packed Chopak Stadium, his 200th game, that was pretty special.
Find of the season for you?
Cameron Green. He has only just started. The green machine has just started to really sort of crank it up, I think, in IPL cricket.
Bangalore has the orange cap and the purple cap. Will the team go on to win the IPL?
No, I don't think it will. I think Rajasthan Royals will win the title.
Okay. One team that will not win the league, the non-contender?
Delhi Capitals.
Okay. The difference between Kohli of yesterday and the Kohli of today as a batter?
It's still world class. I mean, once you look at Kohli's record now, the monkey's off his back and with his Test cricket, which I know he values so much, coming into that Test championship, I think he's just enjoying playing cricket again. And we all go through that at times, where you sort of it just becomes really hard work instead of really lots of fun.
Hedos, let me ask you, one Indian uncapped bowler or a capped bowler and a batter to have impressed you this season?
Yeah, Tilak Varma, I think, from a batting point of view, has been amazing. Huge strike rate, impact player down the bottom, really important player for Mumbai Indians. Umrah Malik, I think, is someone that is yet to hit his strikes, but I really love his pace. Velocity matters in this game. So I'm looking forward to seeing him come back strong in this IPL.
Now, Hedos, here are the 5 Indian players who were forgotten but are putting in good performances this season. Who are the ones who have impressed you most among Ajinkya Rahane, Piyush Chawla, Sandeep Sharma, Mohit Sharma and Amit Mishra?
Yeah, the 2 Sharmas have been really incredible, haven't they, really? Mohit Sharma is off-pace deliveries. They're actually great stories, the both of them. But yeah, I think the Mohit Sharma is making an impressive comeback after some time.
Now, Shah Rukh Khan used to say that he is the USP of IPL. 15 seasons have passed. Who or what is now the USP of IPL according to you?
The fact that the icon players still drive the game. And we're still talking about Virat Kohli. We're still talking about MS Dhoni. We're still talking about Rohit Sharma. That star factor is still a big part of the IPL. And the fact that the game itself now is advanced to the point where we're getting these incredible last ball results. Pretty much everything's gone into the last over of this IPL, bar of 3 or 4 games. So that's the intriguing part of it. Players are getting better. They're developing their instincts, their possibilities, and they're just taking it beyond where the game's ever been before. That's the exciting part.
According to you, what has been the best innovation in IPL in all these 16 seasons?
You'd have to say that the rotation of players, that's a pretty significant move, a bold move. I still feel like it's maybe a bit half pregnant. I'd like to see it, if it's going to go down that path, I'd like to see it properly go down that path where you get a squad playing a squad, and if that's 20 players play 20 players, then why not? At the moment, playing just that extra man with the substitute possibilities of 4 too, by the way. So it is including quite a substantial squad, but maybe it needs to go further than that if it wants to go down this path.
Hedos, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. Do keep sending those mangoes to MS Dhoni because fans definitely want to see him for another season.